Hey, hold on. This is not a clickbait, but the actual movie. You're here. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. And please subscribe. Here is the complete dramatic story of Forbidden Svolf, servant of the Queen, narrated from start to finish. Grab some popcorn, because this is a wild ride of epic betrayal, intense romance, and werewolf warfare. Act 1. The Fall of the King and the Collar of Shame. The story begins in the sprawling, neon-gilded metropolis of Silvercrown City, a unique territory where powerful human elite families and hidden werewolf packs live in an uneasy truce. At the center of Silvercrown's high society is Elena, the beautiful, proud, and fiercely protective heiress of the city's ruling human dynasty. Elena is a woman consumed by grief and cold fury. Years ago, a tragic werewolf attack devastated her family, leaving her with deep emotional scars. Enter her childhood sweetheart, Claire. To Elena, Claire was once her gentle, devoted lover. What she doesn't know is that Claire is actually the secret Silvermoon Volf King, the absolute sovereign of the werewolf clans. Claire has hidden his terrifying power and royal lineage to remain by Elena's side and protect her from the shadows. The great betrayal. The tragedy begins when a corrupt human faction, plotting to take over Silvercrown, falsifies ancient records and manufactures evidence linking Claire to the brutal assault on Elena's family. To make matters worse, a manipulative rival jealous of their bond convinces Elena that Claire only used her to weaken Silvercrown's defenses. Shattered by this truth, Elena's love turns to venomous hatred, capitalizing on a moment when Claire's powers are temporarily weakened due to a lunar cycle anomaly. Elena's forces capture him. Instead of showing mercy, Elena decides to break his pride entirely. She forces an enchanted slave collar around the neck of the legendary Volf King. She strips him of his name, renames him her lowly Volf slave, and forces him to serve her on his knees. Claire, knowing that exposing his true identity now would ignite an all-out war between humans and wolves that would destroy Elena, chooses to endure the physical torment and her bitter emotional cruelty in agonizing silence. The crowd inside the Grand Colosseum of Silvercrown City roars with a deafening, unified hunger. Today is no ordinary day. Banners of deep crimson and gold flutter against the stone walls, bearing the crest of the city's ruling dynasty. It is the 18-year-old coming-of-age ceremony of Elena, the beautiful, highly protected heiress of Silvercrown City. Claire doesn't say a word. He slowly throws back his cloak, revealing simple, worn leather garb. He doesn't draw a sword. He simply raises his bare hands, his posture radiating a terrifying, quiet gravity. The referee drops the flag. Begin. With a roar, Leonardo charges, swinging his heavy blade in a lethal arc meant to decapitate Claire in a single blow. The crowd gasps. Elena leans forward, her hands gripping the stone railing, her heart in her throat for Leonardo. But Claire moves like a shadow. With a fraction of a second reaction time, he slips under Leonardo's blade. He grabs Leonardo's wrist, twists it with a sickening crack, and forces him to drop the sword. Before Leonardo can even scream, Claire delivers a devastating, palm strike to his chest. The shockwave of raw, concentrated energy sends Leonardo flying across the dirt, crashing violently into the stone wall of the arena. Leonardo spits out a mouthful of blood, struggling to rise. The crowd goes dead silent. The undefeated champion of the human elite has been neutralized in a single move. Claire walks over, his footsteps slow and deliberate. He stands over the groaning Leonardo, looking down at him with cold, absolute authority. Claire, you are unworthy of the pearl, and you are entirely unworthy of her. The confrontation, the unbelieved truth. Claire turns his gaze upward to the royal balcony. He leaps onto the stone stairs, ascending to where Elena stands, surrounded by her royal guards. The guards instantly draw their spears, but Elena raises her hand, stopping them. She is trembling, looking at this mysterious, powerful warrior who just decimated her lover. Claire stops a few paces from her. He reaches into his collar and pulls out a small, tarnished silver amulet, the exact matching half to the one Elena wears around her neck. He pulls down his collar, revealing a faint, crescent-shaped scar on his collarbone. Claire, his voice softening, thick with emotion. Elena ... Look at me. It's me. It's Claire. Your childhood lover. The one who promised to return to you when we were forced apart. I have come back to fulfill my vow. I fought today to save you from these vultures. Elena stares at the amulet. For a split second, a flicker of recognition crosses her eyes. But then her gaze lands on Leonardo, who is being helped up by medics, groaning in pain. A wave of bitter anger and denial washes over her. The conspirators in her ear have spent years telling her that Claire was a traitor, a monster, and a liar who abandoned her family to die. She refuses to believe this rugged, powerful outsider is her sweet childhood sweetheart. Elena, her voice cold, trembling with fury silence. How dare you speak his name? How dare you stand in my presence and wear a forged token to mock my memories? Claire is dead, or worse, he is a coward. You are nothing but a savage who stepped out of the wilderness to humiliate my fiancé. Claire, Elena, please, listen to my voice. Look into my eyes. The people around you are lying to you. Leonardo is using you. I am the only one who has ever truly protected you. Elena, stepping closer, her eyes flashing with disdain. You expect me to believe a nameless, violent brute who sneaks into our sacred arena. You think because you want to fight, you can claim the hand of the heiress of Silver Crown. The sentence, the servant fiancé. Elena looks at the Silver Crown pearl, then looks back at Claire. A cruel, twisted idea forms in her mind to punish him for his arrogance and for hurting Leonardo. Elena, according to the ancient laws of the arena, the winner of the challenge must be granted a title and a place by my side. You want to claim you are my fiancé? Fine. I will honor the law, but on my terms. She steps right up to him, looking down her nose at him. Elena, from this day forward, you are my servant fiancé. You will sleep in the stables. You will wash the mud from my boots. You will guard my chamber door while I comfort Leonardo. You wanted to be close to me. Now you are, but you will be nothing more than a dog on my leash. Claire looks into her eyes, seeing the deep-seated pain and hatred that has blinded her. He realizes that if he walks away now, the conspirators will destroy her. He must stay to protect her, even if it means enduring the ultimate humiliation at her hands. He slowly drops to one knee, bowing his head. Claire, if that is the only way I can remain by your side to protect you, Elena ... then I accept. I will be your servant. Elena turns her back on him, walking away to tend to Leonardo, completely unaware that she has just put a servant's leash on the hidden, all-powerful Silver Moon King. The bear in the woods, the failed appeal. The heavy rain of Silver Crown City beats against the floor-to-ceiling glass windows of Elena's private study. Inside, Claire stands dripping wet, his hands loosely bound by the heavy iron chains Elena forced on him. He looks at her, his silver eyes carrying a heavy, silent pain. Elena sits at her desk, sipping tea, deliberately ignoring his presence while reviewing troop patrols with Leonardo, who stands smugly beside her. Elena, without looking up, take the beast back to the stables. Leonardo, the smell of wet wolf is ruining my study. Claire, taking a step forward, the chains rattling. Elena, look at me. How long are you going to keep playing this game? Do you really not remember the summer of our 10th year? The whispering woods. Elena's teacup freezes midair, her eyes narrow, a flicker of vulnerability crossing her face before she hardens her expression. Elena, silence, slave. You have no right to speak of my childhood. Claire, you snuck out to pick those wild white lilies for your mother's grave. You wandered too deep. A massive, starved brown bear cornered you against the ravine. You screamed. Elena, you closed your eyes and waited to die. Leonardo steps forward, placing his hand on his sword hilt. Leonardo, watch your tongue, trash. You probably read that in some city archive to trick her. Claire, ignoring Leonardo, his eyes locked on Elena. Boy, a dirty, half-starved boy from the outskirts threw himself between you and that beast. He didn't have a sword. He didn't have armor. He used his bare hands and a sharp stone to drive it off, taking 3 deep claw marks across his shoulder, the very scar I showed you in the arena. Elena, I am that boy. I saved your life. Elena abruptly slams her teacup onto the desk, splashing hot tea across her paperwork. She stands up, her chest heaving with a mixture of anger and buried grief. Elena, enough. The boy who saved me was gentle, kind, and loyal. He promised he would never leave my side, but he did leave. He abandoned me when my family was slaughtered. You are a cold-blooded, power-hungry savage trying to weaponize my deepest scars to steal my city. Leonardo, take him out of my sight before I have his tongue cut out. Claire lets out a soft, bitter laugh as Leonardo grabs his chains, dragging him back into the cold rain. Scene 2. The Silver Crescent. The Discovery. Hours later, the storm passes, leaving Silver Crown City bathed in a cold, damp mist. Elena walks through the courtyard, her mind plagued by Claire's words. How did he know about the white lily? No archive in the city held that detail. She wanders near the servant quarters, stopping outside the damp, stone cell where Claire is kept. She hears him coughing inside. Peering through the iron grate, she sees him collapsed on a pile of straw. shivering from the fever brought on by silver-tipped restraints. His shirt is torn. As he rolls over in his uneasy sleep, a small leather pouch slips from his pocket, spilling its contents onto the dirt floor. Amongst the straw, something catches the moonlight. It glints with a pure, unmistakable silver radiance. Elena's breath hitches. Her heart stops. She reaches her trembling hand through the iron bars, her fingers brushing against the cold metal. She pulls it out. It is a silver crescent necklace, hand-carved with a rough, amateurish engraving of a howling wolf. Memories rush over her like a tidal wave. 12 years ago, a little girl with scraped knees stood in the mud, crying as she placed this exact necklace around the neck of a bleeding, heavily bandaged boy who had just saved her from a bear. "Take this," she had sobbed. "It's my family's protective charm. As long as you wear it, you will always find your way back to me." Elena stares at the necklace in her palm, tears finally spilling over her cheeks. Elena, whispering, her voice cracking. It's really him. The scar, the lila, the necklace. My God, what have I done? "Claire, I'm so sorry. Double quotes. Just then, she hears the heavy, marching footsteps of the city guard approaching the courtyard. She quickly hides the necklace in her cloak. Scene 3. The execution and the rescue. Before Elena can open the cell door, Leonardo steps into the courtyard, flanked by a dozen heavily armed executioners. He holds a signed death warrant. Leonardo, smirking by order of the High Council, the slave Claire is sentenced to immediate death by hanging for treason and attempting to assassinate the heiress's fiancé. Drag him out. Elena, no. Leonardo, stop. This is a mistake. He is innocent. Leonardo, his eyes turning cold and dark. Dearest Elena, you are too soft. The execution is already scheduled. The gallows are waiting in the central square. Guard her. Do not let her interfere. 2 guards grab Elena, holding her back as she struggles, screams, and weeps. By the time she breaks free of her guards and sprints to the central square, the scene is already set. Claire stands on the wooden trapdoor of the gallows, a thick noose placed around his neck. His body is weak, but his head is held high. Leonardo stands by the lever, a sadistic grin on his face. Elena, screaming from the edge of the crowd, stop. Leonardo, I command you to stop. He is Claire. He is my childhood lover. Leonardo looks at her, his grin widening. Leonardo, too late, my queen. He pulls the lever. The trapdoor drops, but Claire doesn't fall. Before his neck can snap, a deafening, earth-shattering howl echoes through the valley surrounding Silver Crown City. The sky darkens as thick clouds block the sun. Suddenly, the stone walls of the square explode. Massive, terrifying shadows leap over the barricades. Werewolves, dozens of them, carrying the crest of the Silver Moon Pack, storm the plaza with terrifying speed and ferocity. They shred through the executioners and city guards in seconds. A massive, pure black alpha wolf leaps onto the gallows, snapping the thick hemp rope with a single bite of its jaws. Claire lands gracefully on his feet. The werewolf army surrounds Claire, bowing their heads in absolute submission to their king. Claire stands tall, the weak, trembling slave persona completely gone. He looks at Leonardo with eyes of pure, lethal silver. Leonardo falls backward in sheer terror, scrambling away into the dirt. The departure, the unheard plea, corrected. The square is quiet now, save for the low, rumbling growls of the Silver Moon Pack. Emerging from the settling dust of the ruined plaza, a royal werewolf guard steps forward, leading a magnificent, midnight black warhorse. The beast is massive, its dark coat gleaming like polished obsidian, breathing heavy mist into the cold air. This is the mount of the sovereign, fierce, wild, and answerable only to the Wolf King. Claire begins to walk toward the horse, his posture regal, cold, and entirely detached from the city that humiliated him. Elena, running through the debris, coughing through the dust. Claire, wait, please. The werewolf guards step forward, baring their fangs to block her. But Claire raises a single hand, signaling them to hold. He stops beside his stallion, his hand resting on the leather saddle. He turns his head slightly, but he does not look her in the eye. Elena collapses to her knees a few feet away, holding out the silver crescent necklace in her shaking hands. Elena, sobbing, her voice filled with desperate regret. I have it. I found the necklace. Claire, I know the truth now. I know you saved me from the bear. I know you've been protecting me all this time. I was blind. I was manipulated by Leonardo and the council. Please, Claire, look at me. I believe you now. I love you. Don't leave me like this. Double quotes. Claire stands silent for what feels like an eternity, his dark cloak billowing in the wind. When he finally speaks, his voice is devoid of the warmth he once had for her. It is the cold, booming voice of a king who has closed his heart. Claire, you believed the lies of a snake over the heart of the boy who bled for you. You put a collar on the man who gave up his crown just to stand by your side. Your belief now is far too cheap, Elena. Elena, Claire, please, give me a chance to make it right. I'll do anything. Claire, my name is not Claire to you anymore. I am the Silvermoon Volf King, and my place is no longer in your city. With a seamless, powerful motion, Claire grips the reins and mounts the black stallion. He sits tall in the saddle, looking down at her one last time with a gaze as cold as ice. He pulls the reins, and the horse rears back with a sharp, piercing neigh. With a hard kick, Claire commands the steed forward. The horse gallops out of the ruined plaza, kicking up a storm of dust. Alongside him, the massive wolves of the Silvermoon pack leap and sprint in perfect unison, disappearing into the dark forest. Elena is left kneeling alone in the dirt, clutching the cold silver necklace to her chest, her desperate cries drowned out by the fading thunder of hooves. The plea and the ultimate deal. Elena's world is in absolute ruins. In Silver Crown City, the treacherous High Council has turned completely on her family. They have arrested her father on false charges of treason, conspiring with rogue wolves, and orchestrating the slaughter of their own people. With her father facing a brutal public execution, Elena realizes she has only one hope left, Claire, swallowing her immense pride. Elena travels alone on foot to the dark, mist-shrouded border of the Silvermoon Volf Kingdom. She breaches the territory, falling to her knees outside Claire's grand obsidian palace. When Claire finally emerges, cloaked in his royal furs, his face is a mask of stone. He looks down at her with zero emotion. Elena, crying out, her hands scraping against the gravel. Claire, please, I beg you, hear me? I don't care about my pride anymore. I don't care what you do to me, but my father, they are going to execute him. Leonardo and the council framed him. You have the power to stop this. Please save his life. Claire, coldly, not even pausing his stride. Your father's fate is a human matter. Silver Crown City made its bed. Now sleep in it. Elena, scrambling forward, grabbing the hem of his dark cloak. I will do anything. Anything, please. Claire, you once loved him like a father. Do this one thing, and my life is yours. Claire stops. He turns slowly, looking down at her kneeling figure. A dark, bitter shadow crosses his eyes. He recalls the months he spent kneeling at her feet, wearing her slave collar. Claire, anything, fine. You want me to play the savior? Then we will play by your rules. Elena, I will launch a covert raid to rescue your father and keep him safe in my sanctuary. But the price of his life is your freedom. Elena, staring up at him, breathless. What do you want? Claire, you will become my personal maid. You will sweep my chambers, wash the mud from my boots, and obey my every command without question. You will be my servant, just as you made me yours. You, Elena, bowing her head, tears hitting the dirt. I accept. Thank you, my king. Scene 2. The cruelty of the rival. Elena is stripped of her royal garments and given the rough, woolen uniform of a low-ranking estate servant. She silently goes to work, scrubbing the marble floors of the palace. But her presence infuriates Victoria, a high-ranking noble werewolf who has recently been arranged to marry Claire to solidify pack alliances. Victoria is beautiful, cruel, and deeply insecure. She knows Claire's heart still secretly beats for Elena, and she refuses to let a human maid steal her future throne. Taking advantage of Claire's absence during a border patrol, Victoria corners Elena in the grand washroom. Victoria, stepping on Elena's wet cleaning rag with a leather heel. You think because you played the pathetic victim, you can wiggle your way back into his bed. You are a flatline human, a parasite. You don't belong in the kingdom of beasts. With a cruel smirk, Victoria grabs Elena by the hair, dragging her to the stone washing troughs filled with near-boiling water. Victoria, let's see if we can boil that pretty face of yours, so the king never looks at you again. Elena struggles, but she is physically no match for a werewolf's supernatural strength. Victoria shoves Elena's hands and face toward the scalding water, laughing as her handmaidens hold Elena down. Elena's skin begins to blister, her screams echoing through the stone corridors. Scene 3, touch her and die. Just as Victoria's guards prepare to drown Elena in the scalding trough to make her death look like an accident, the massive double doors of the washroom are blown off their hinges by a concussive wave of pure kinetic energy. Claire stands in the doorway. His silver eyes are flashing a lethal, glowing white, and the air in the room suddenly drops to freezing. With blinding speed, Claire crosses the room. Before Victoria's guards can even react, He grabs two of them by their throats and hurls them through the high glass windows, sending them crashing into the courtyard below. He grabs Victoria by her wrist, twisting it just enough to force her to her knees in front of Elena. Claire, his voice a deep, vibrating rumble, what do you think you are doing in my palace, Victoria? Victoria, wincing in pain, terrified but trying to sound haughty. Claire, she's just a human slave. She insulted me. I am your fiancée, Claire. She is my servant. Which means her life, her body, and her breath belong strictly to me. If anyone breaks her, it will be me. If you or any of your sycophants ever lay a finger on her again, I will strip your family of their titles and feed you to the wild rogues. Pack your things and get out of my sight. Claire releases her. Victoria retreats in sheer terror, shooting a venomous, hateful glance at Elena before fleeing the room. Claire turns to Elena, who is clutching her burned, trembling hands to her chest. For a split second, a look of pure, raw worrying softens his eyes. He kneels, reaching out to touch her wounds, but catches himself. He hardens his face once more, standing up and towering over her. Claire, get up. Go to the apothecary and heal yourself. You can't clean my chambers with useless hands. Elena looks up at him, realizing that despite his cold words, his protective instinct for her is still very much alive. Scene 4. The mastermind exposed. A few days later, Claire's scouts return with captured intelligence from the borders of Silver Crown. Claire summons Elena and her rescued father into the war room. On the table, they lay out decrypted communications and military blueprints recovered from human black market traders. As they piece the documents together, Elena gasps. The handwriting, the digital signatures, and the seal on the orders all point to one single mastermind. It isn't the High Council, it isn't a rogue werewolf faction, it is Leonardo. Elena, staring in absolute horror, it was him. From the very beginning, he didn't just frame my father. He was the one who leaked my family's security codes to the rogue werewolf pack 12 years ago. He orchestrated the tragedy that killed my mother and siblings just to make me depend on him and inherit the city's wealth. Claire, and he didn't stop there. These documents show he is selling highly volatile, silver-laced explosives to extremist factions on both sides. He is planning to trigger an all-out war that will completely annihilate both Silver Crown City and the Silver Moon Pack, leaving him to rule over the ashes. Scene V. The Battle of the Bombs. The climax of the movie erupts at the neutral zone, a massive, abandoned industrial train yard on the border of the two territories. Leonardo has set up a massive, timer-rigged silver ore bomb designed to release a toxic, flesh-eating silver gas that would kill every werewolf within a 50-mile radius, while pinning the blame on human extremists to trigger a war. Claire and Elena lead a joint strike force of loyal werewolves and Silver Crown rebels storming the yard. A brutal, chaotic battle ensues. Bullets, claws, and silver-laced arrows fly through the night. Claire tears through Leonardo's mercenary forces, while Elena, wielding a recurve bow, provides cover fire, saving Claire's pack members from sniper fire. Finally, Claire and Elena corner Leonardo on top of a high metal gantry overlooking the central bomb. Leonardo is battered, his armor dented, but he holds a remote detonator in his hand. Leonardo, laughing hysterically, his face bloody. You think you've won? You're too late. The timer is at 1 minute. If I press this button, the triggers override and we all vaporize right now. You wolves will melt from the inside out, and you, Elena, will die as the Queen of Nothing. Leonardo lunges to press the manual override on the bomb console, but Elena is faster, channeling the fierce warrior spirit of the Silver Crown lineage. She sprints forward, dives, and tackles Leonardo away from the console. They grapple on the metal grating. Leonardo grabs her by the throat, choking her. Leonardo, you stupid, blind girl. You should have just married me. Through her fading vision, Elena spots a heavy steel wrench on the floor. She grabs it and slams it directly into Leonardo's temple. He staggers back, dazed. In that fraction of a second, Claire leaps over the console. With a roar of primal fury, he grabs Leonardo by his collar, lifting him completely off the ground. Claire, this is for my pack, and this is for Elena. Claire hurls Leonardo off the high gantry. Leonardo screams as he plummets down, crashing directly onto his own explosive device below. At the exact same moment, Elena scrambles to the bomb console, remembering the technical training she received as heiress. She cuts the blue secondary feed wire just as the countdown clock hits 0:03. The bomb goes dead. The city is saved. The final scene, the rebirth of the Alliance. With Leonardo's treachery exposed to the entire world, the Human High Council is disbanded, and Elena's father is fully exonerated, returning to his rightful place as a respected leader. The movie ends back in the grand courtyard of Silver Crown City, the very place where Claire was once almost executed. Today, there are no chains, no collars, and no weapons. Thousands of humans and werewolves stand side by side in peace. Elena stands on the royal balcony, wearing a stunning white and silver gown. Claire walks out to join her, dressed in his magnificent black and silver royal sovereign attire. He looks at her, and for the first time in years, a genuine, warm smile breaks across his face. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out the hand-carved silver crescent necklace. He gently places it around her neck, fastening the clasp. Claire, you don't have to search for me anymore. Elena, I am right here. Elena, leaning into his touch, tears of joy in her eyes, and I will never let you go again, my king. Claire takes her hand, and together, they raise their clasped hands to the sky. The crowd below lets out a deafening cheer, accompanied by the harmonious, powerful howls of the Silver Moon Pack echoing into the sunset, marking the beginning of a legendary, united reign. The end. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.